Before we talk about honor in any specific context as it relates to a service that I do, that I offer to you, I wanted to give a little bit of context to what I mean by honor. And I want to introduce it with this little saying. I heard that some people have this saying that they have God as their co-pilot. I've also heard that if you've got God available as a co-pilot, you may be in the wrong seat. Maybe you should get over and let God be the pilot and be the navigator and assistant, and that might work really well. So if things aren't going too well with the co-pilot thing, that's something to consider. I'm going to give an example related to that. With regard to health, I know many very powerful influences related to health, all revolve around just consciousness. And it's very clear that just consciousness is not the only thing involved. Let's take, for example, a newborn, fresh out of the womb mammal. God, as the pilot, so to speak, has set up a certain design in things, and that design features no teeth in the infant generally, right? However, a very clear attraction to a particular type of nourishment. And again, I said this is a newborn mammal, so that's a hint. The basic thing is, in order to honor what the natural design is, or the situation as it is, if you have a newborn with no teeth, for instance, then what is appropriate for them to consume? Well, the natural design seems to clearly point in one specific direction, no real doubt about this, as to what the dietary, the primary dietary practice of an infant would be. The infant knows, has no doubt. Generally speaking, the average mammalian mother knows, and it's not really open to any kind of intellectual or idealistic argument. It's quite simple. You can try arguing with the infant if you want, but infants aren't too much into, taking your logical presentation and going, you know what, I'm going to give up this whole breastfeeding thing. What I'd like to do is try some avocados. That's not only do infants not talk, generally speaking, but that's just not going to happen. They know what is right for them. My premise is that not only does God know, and not only do certain mammalian infants know, but you and I also know. So, even if people tell the infant that it's more spiritually clean as far as their karma not to consume dairy products and so forth, it's just not gonna convince the average puppy, the average kitten, the average human, whatever. Any mammalian infant is not going to be too interested in the ideas. So while I'm presenting ideas, I'm presenting these ideas in the context of them being self-evident. And I hope that you'll find that that is your experience as well, and that perhaps my making reference to them is in some way perhaps a reassurance for you for what you might already know. And with that that context, I'm going to be asking questions perhaps as much as I'm going to be making statements and conclusions. And when I do throw out a conclusion, obviously, if it is self-evident to you, then that's the one to make note of. And if I say something that you don't understand, you can make note of that and ask me a question and so forth. But the basic thing is, these things are already obvious. Just get in the co-pilot seat and let the natural potential manifest into its own fulfillment, and just assist in that happening. So, as it relates to diet, my other comment on diet is that in addition to affirmations and all that might be great, I don't know if I would go with those with the crying infant who is starving. Well, just affirm that you got food. I don't know. That's where I think a lot of this affirmation stuff is really just a matter of getting out of the way of what's natural. Then there's a lot of work to do. That's just getting out. That's just enough. The affirmations are like to talk yourself out of realizing that, oh, good Lord, I've been trying to be the pilot when I should be the co-pilot. It's kind of that simple as far as that goes. So as far as diet for an adult, having teeth, so forth, yes, it so happens that I recommend that we consider just as the infant is designed, and from its mouth all the way down its digestive tract, it's designed to have high quality fresh breast milk, raw, unpasteurized. Similarly, the human digestive tract of adults is also designed for what has been native to earthlings all along, which is not cooked food. Don't really want to make this into a point of contention, but just it's clear enough which came first, humans or humans cooking. Clearly humans came first, and just as breast milk is, if it's a high quality breast milk, there's no value in you might reheat it if somebody has stores in excess of it or something. It's really cold. That might not be very, very appealing, but reheating it or bringing it up to body temperature, room temperature, that kind of thing, that's a very different thing from cooking, really. So from our teeth through the stomach, the liver, the longer intestinal tract, there's, just as in the infant and just as in the puppy that grows into a dog and the kitten that grows into a adult cat, in the case of the mammal humans, when that infant grows up to be an adult, there's no need for the food to be cooked. High quality food is perfectly adequate, and cooked food is not high quality food as it pertains to the digestive tract of humans. It's not the highest quality food. If you take the breast milk from the mother and cook it, and then offer that in a bottle, and then offer some fresh raw milk in a bottle, as long as when we're dealing with an infant, they might not have much logic to go with this, but generally speaking, no cat, no kitten, no puppy, no infant is going to take the cooked milk over or pasteurized milk over the raw, fresh milk. It's healthier. The enzymes are much more vital. So that's the point on honor. But I also want to mention, as a kind of a jumping point from that comment or that commentary, that it is our desire to be the co-pilot that God made us to be, as it relates to our health, our integrity, our entire lives. It's that commitment that makes the various other financial services I'm going to talk about of particular value. Why are they valuable? Well, they're valuable because they can allow us to fulfill the pilot's plan. The pilot's plan is a perfectly good plan. Doesn't mean that as co-pilot we won't have some degree of influence and contribute. Of course, we are co-creator. We are co-creators, and the starting point of that is to honor what already is. If our starting point is guilt, and we presume that we're spiritually inadequate, and there's something wrong with mammals, and there's something wrong with breastfeeding, and there's something wrong with eating in accord with the digestive tract, and something wrong with going along with the pilot's flight plan here. That kind of orientation is going to have a certain set of consequences. And the alternate orientation, as far as committing to the natural potential in our lives and fulfilling those potentials, there's going to be different consequences with that. And it is the case that as co-pilots we have work to do. That's absolutely true. And as co-pilots we do not need to be the pilot. There are other people who would use different metaphors than the God as a co-pilot, God as a pilot thing. That's fine too. The point is, in terms of honor, we start with what is already working. And if God's, the idea in using the term God here in the pilot analogy is that if God's already an excellent pilot, we don't have to redesign and train God how to pilot. Life is already on purpose. So we can relax. We can take it, enjoy the ride a little bit. Yes, there's work to do as co-pilot. And yes, there's a good pilot in terms of a program that really works if we will honor that program and the design of who we are. If I honor the design of who I am, not just as it relates to dietary tract and digestive, dietary practices and the digestive tract and other health practices, sure, that's very important. And that's a great motivator for improving and optimizing one's finances. If one is already motivated and already in the mode of honoring the natural beauty and intelligence and awesome I don't know, the I don't know what to say. What do we honor in life? We honor the purpose and the I don't know what else to say. We honor the fact that there already is a plan that is working great. And if we're not working the reliable plan, we might want to change that. So, I wrote and spoke about fear as a motivator. If you're really exposed to danger, then fear is the human response to say, change something. With regard to God as pilot, this metaphor, you got an awesome pilot. very competent, very reliable, very trustworthy. Go with that. If you feel gratitude and an awe and wonder and love for your own life, how are you going to show that gratitude and how are you going to show that love? Show it through honor. That's why in wedding vows they say love and honor. Honor is the expression of our love. So, that's the introduction. We're going to take a look at what already is and is self-evident, and then explore from there.